So the first one is, will you understand a person who does not use articles?
Even in the United States, sometimes people don't use articles, and it just shows that they're probably older people or people who came from overseas, from some other country. So people here make allowances for people not knowing the articles, but obviously it's better. You learn the articles, you're going to be much better off.
True. Why do older people do not use articles? Like, what's wrong? What's wrong with them?
Well, I'm talking about people, much older, maybe like already in their, you know, 90s or so, people who came here in maybe the 1950s or 1940s. Those people got used to not using articles.
Mm-hmm. I see. They just got used to, all right, and they can live with it. Okay.
Yeah, they can live with it, and people who know them understand them.
Mm-hmm. So the second question: do you know any informal cases when you can drop an article and it will be okay?
I'll give you an example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Boys and girls like to play. I'm
Mm-hmm.
making a general statement about all boys and all girls, but I'm not using an article. If I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to say the boy and the girl, I'm talking about a specific boy and girl.
Mm-hmm.
The boy, the girl, or if I say a girl, a boy, and a boy, I'm not being specific. I'm saying any boy, any girl. But if I'm using it in a general sense to say all boys, all girls, you could just say boys and girls love to play.
I teach my students to some, if they like don't like articles, they can replace them with the word one, or like my, his, her, something like that.
Hmm. You can
Mm-hmm.
learn as many ways as possible. You know, my car, the car, you know.
Right. Maybe articles are like they represent the logic of English language.
Right, that's another way of explaining it, sure.
Hmm. Like super detailed language, the language of computers and programs.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, if a person talks too fast, is there any chance that people will not hear that this person missed an article?
Well, I guess it all depends, but if a person doesn't use an article, it stands out to a native speaker. They would
Hmm.
a native speaker would hear that pretty quickly.
You see, all my questions are just like I wanna people to feel easier. Sometimes I wanna show them that it's not so bad and it's not so scary. But still, I'm searching for this ways for them to feel better if they are wrong and if they are
Sure,
mistake.
sure. And you just practice as you're going to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. That's why they put erasers on pencils. But sooner or later, you get it, and once you get it and understand it, you say, "Hey, this isn't too bad. This is easy."
True. I,
But you
I like.
just need to,
Uh-huh.
get used to it.
Hmm. Erasers on the pencils. I have never heard it. Yeah, good one. So, how it will be correct? I saw a girl, boy, and mother together, or I saw a girl, a boy, and a mother together.
Both of them are correct.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Both of them
So,
are correct.
uh-huh.
I mean,
Because
if
it's a list.
hmm yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if I were writing that sentence, I would say I saw uh, a boy, a girl, and a mother together. But then
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I might leave the articles out, but it still makes sense because you're using the article in the beginning of the
Mm-hmm.
sentence, and it's
Mm-hmm.
understood, and
Mm-hmm.
and it sounds good. There's such a thing in the English language as a concept called euphony, euphony, and it means the sound. And correct
Mm-hmm.
English has good euphony. So if a native speaker is speaking to another native speaker, they will be able to tell if each other are using correct English because of the euphony, the sound of the sentence.
Sometimes it just sounds right. Um, yeah, I see. But it's tricky. It's tricky because sometimes my students say, "Oh, I don't like how it sounds. Maybe it is wrong." But I say, "No, no, no, no.
Right.
It is correct. You just don't like it. Just don't like how it sounds."
Yeah. It just takes time, effort, and practice. But once you could put in the time and you learn, it'll come to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be understood. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is, never give up.
Right, right. When I wrote you about the past tense, that old people in Russia, they just uh, the beginners, they hate. Not all people. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I so students, most of them don't like irregular verbs.
Hmm.
And I say that in the beginning, you can do like I did buy instead of I bought. And that it's not like that it is legal to do that. And they're like, "Are you sure?"
It's still
It's,
correct. Just wanted to tell your students that you can't say something like this: I did buy a book, or I bought a book. They're both correct, and they both sound perfect. It all depends on how you want to construct the sentence, how you want to build the sentence. After a while, you could just cut the sentence down a little bit and say, I bought a book,
mm-hmm,
rather than saying, I did buy a book.
mm-hmm,
But you
right.
can say it both ways, practice both ways.
True. Thank you. This is amazing.
We learned all of this grammar, rules, regulations, how to build sentences and how to do everything correctly in grade school.
Mm-hmm,
And I always remember those rules. And when I did radio, in radio you have to speak correctly. And being a
mm-hmm.
psychologist, you have to speak correctly. So I'm always aware that I need to always keep up and do what's right in terms of grammar.
So you know what I'm trying to do with my students and to keep them like in a simple in the easy way and the correct way, like easy correct way. Like of course, I always mention that if you just travel around the world, you can use these simple constructions. You will be understood, and don't you worry about present perfect continuous, something like
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. Right. Keep it simple.
We have this present perfect and past simple. And that I say usually that in 95% of cases, you can use past simple instead of present perfect. Like
Hmm.
I bought instead of I have bought. Uh, how am I right?
You're absolutely correct. Absolutely
Mhm.
correct.
They really worry. They don't understand the verb have because we don't have it. And they think, oh my God, I bought. Why I have bought? Why is have here? Like, And I say that it's in the mindset of American people that they can own verbs. Right,
It-
right. Uh-huh.
yeah, it just makes more sense
Hmm.
to us. It's the
Hmm.
way we were taught, so it makes more sense.
Hmm.
So
So, yeah.
everything is based on what we learned.
Thank you very much, John. I mean, for this. Um, so yesterday I recorded a video about motivation. That people, like, usually in motivation you hear like do this, do that, and stuff. But I say, look at the atmosphere where you are working, and if something is wrong, uh, maybe closed windows, bad chair, bad pen, and bad working computer, it will stop you from doing what you do. And you will not, maybe, and you will think that you don't like your job, but you don't like the atmosphere. So change the atmosphere, and then you like what you're doing. What do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, to the best of your ability. Sure. Change the atmosphere to the best of your ability. You may not be able to change everything, but make some adjustments. You know, get a new pen, you know, get a new chair, and it and
Right.
it does and it does change the atmosphere. And once you change the atmosphere, you will start to have a better appreciation for your job.
True.
You have to make some
Right.
kind of adjustment in life in general.
Yeah, I hope the video will help people to look at the different side
Yeah,
of
sure.
motivation.
Yeah, good. Give them encouragement.
Yeah, right. Like, people think that they are lazy, but but people like to blame themselves. But I say, don't blame yourself. Blame the environment and try to correct, to fix it, and
Try to change
maybe
it.
change it.
Try
Yeah.
to change it to the best of your ability. You may not be able to change everything, but you might be able to change something that makes a difference.
I'm happy that you agree, because it's not too popular. I mean, people usually don't look at this like this. They just push and feel guilt and stuff like that.
Hmm. Right, right. Well,
Mm.
you're becoming like a psychologist.
Oh my, you're right. I have to. I just have to.
And I just wanted to tell your students that they really have the best English teacher, that you are very dedicated, very clever, and really care about your students and really help them, are really interested in their progress. So they are very fortunate, and by having you as an English teacher, they are investing in themselves. And that's the most important thing somebody could do, is to invest in themselves, especially if they have a good person to work with, and you are that person. So I congratulate you, and I congratulate all your students for doing the best that everybody can. And believe it or not, everybody will put in the time, do what they need to do, and English will come more easily. And if I could ever help any of the students, just let me know.
Wow, thank you. This is just so nice to hear, and I really did not expect that. Yeah, thank you very much.
Well,
Um,
I remember Olga had an English teacher.
mhm.
She was a woman, I don't know, maybe at the time,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say 50 years old.
Okay.
A nice woman, but I think you're a much better English teacher
Then the Olga's teacher, you mean?
than Olga's teacher that she had. I mean,
Yeah.
the woman was nice and all, but she didn't have the relationship with people that she maybe could have. Um, and maybe she didn't do as much as she could. She taught them, but it was like right out of a book, where you're
Mm-hmm.
giving them more like life experiences and teaching them, more about how to use English on an everyday basis.
Yeah. I also try to tell students, like, from the point of view of the native speaker,
Hmm.
something like that. Not like the book says, but how people in the States feel.
Yeah. In other words, more practical
Right.
English,
Yeah.
So I think you have a leg up on that woman. Like I said, she's a nice woman. I met her uh, twice, and she was good. But you know, to learn rules or regulations, things like that, English laws, that's one thing. But to be able to teach English in a practical way that's more useful to everybody is something else.
Yeah, well, you are the reason why I am into this.
So, so
You
you're
helped me.
so you're blaming me.
You helped me. You helped me to become who I am in English. You helped me so much in a way that I think. I mean, you helped me so much, and I appreciate it so much. You helped me to prepare to the trip to the States. You helped me during all my student life. I mean, all I got all this from you. I got good English and good relationship with English from you. So you are my teacher.
I'm very happy to help you in any way. Well, you know that. That's true.
John, thank you so much for this conversation and for your time and
Well, I hope it goes
yeah.
over well with your students. Okay, Annie, you take care. Have a good night. Spokojnej noci.
Спокойной ночи.
Uh-huh.